Today, let's go through a method to address the depth of these nut slots. The string height on this nut is a little high, so let's lower them. If you Google nut files, oftentimes something like this will come up, a packet of these files. Now, I don't find these files to be of particular use for filing nuts. They're certainly too wide for a nut slot. You may also find these. These are JEWELER'S files, and they're very, very, very thin. These would be better for, especially something for the high E string, which is, the slot is so thin on that. These would be ideal for that. So let's check these out. Let's loosen the strings. Here's a foolproof method of getting the depth of the slots done. Okay, I don't know what word I want to use here. What we want to do is take tape, and we want to put it against the first fret. Now we want to add enough layers here so that our finger feels the tape height when we move from the first fret to tape. So there'll be a little little edge there. So that's number 2. That's 14. Now, your guitar may be different depending upon how high and what type of frets you have. Don't put the tape on the fret. Put it next to the fret. Okay, now, here's the fun part. We undo this entire hunk. We undo this hunk and we move it up against the nut. Right up flush against the nut. Not on the nut, flush. Now, because I'll be moving a file across here or something that's sharp, I want to protect these other frets and the rosewood. So I'm putting down a couple of pieces of tape here. I usually do 2 layers for protection. As you may have heard me say before, if you only have one down and you rip that tape with your filing instrument, you probably have already created a scratch somewhere. So at least with 2, you get a buffer. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. These are JEWELER'S files. They're very, very thin. This is one file. This is down here, they bunch them together. So don't think that one bunch is the file. It's not. There's many, many files in here. So I want to remove one of these. You can see the teeth on it. And I'll use this to lower the nut slot depth. This is almost ideal for the E string, for the high E. I see that this needs a little more protection over here. You notice I'm going at kind of a rounded angle. And how do I know when I'm done? Well, the file starts to hit the paper, which it's doing on this side and on this side. Then don't go any further. Now you're up against the tape, and we know the height of the tape is just above the first fret. Let's do the B string. Now another benefit of using this method is you'll automatically follow the depths of the slots will automatically follow the radius of the fretboard. If you want your thicker strings, D, A, and E, for example, to be up a bit, which is not unusual, then you want to put a couple more layers of tape on that side. In this case, around where the 14 is. And you can see the dust coming out of here, right? The plastic dust. These do flex. They do come with a hacksaw like, I don't know, what would you call that? Frame? So you could put this on the frame if you wanted to. Okay, so here we are, and here we are. See the mark. You know, see the white mark here, and here, and that's how you know you're done. Okay, that one broke. So that's probably not unusual with these. They're so thin. And I'm sure that's why they give you a lot of them. Because they will break. I've put the blade in the frame. There we go. Next. Filing across the top of this because this feels a little uneven. I will eventually replace this nut. You can see the D slot is much wider than the other ones. So yeah, it's no big deal. It's not an expensive guitar. This will work. If I want more artisan results, which I do, I will replace the nut. As you can see right here where the saw blades were hitting the paper. And that's why we put 2 pieces of tape down. Okay, let's string it up and see how it feels. While I'm here, I'm going to put a little petroleum jelly in the slots. Everybody uses something a little different. It's a little tiny, tiny bit of lemon oil on my fingertip. And I mean small. It looks like it's a lot. When you look at this, it's not. It's very little. I see some glue residue. Looks like when they glued the nut in, residue, squirted out here, or it was pressed out and they wiped it off, but may not have gotten all of it off. But, that's okay. I don't want to make federal issues out of these things because, on balance, they're not really that meaningful on a guitar like this anyway. Let's put the strings on.